Welcome to Radio Arizona RV, episode number 9. Now today we are going to be talking about the Lightning Pack. This is a little gadget that will jumpstart a V8 or V10, believe it or not. I certainly didn't at first, not until I saw it, but this thing measures in at 6.5 inches long by 3 inches wide and 1 inch thick. That's like the size of 2 smartphones or 3 smartphones put together, right? Or 2 smartphones and an iPhone. Make an iPhone sandwich, iPhone cookie. No, seriously, this thing's really cool. It will literally jumpstart a V8 or V10. You know, the salesman comes in, he's telling me about this, and I'm just looking at him like he's nuts. Like he's just crazy. There's no way this thing's going to do it. So after he did it about 8 times on his Suburban, well, I still didn't believe him. So I told him I had to think about it. So the next day he comes back and he had to do it again. I had to see it another 8 times. This time connected to the battery. The first time he did it connected to the alternator with the negative cable disconnected on the battery. So this time it was with the battery completely disconnected. And it worked. It was amazing. And I normally don't get too excited about something like this because I think they're just a scam. But this thing actually worked. Like I said, he started about 8 times. So that's pretty powerful. Now, I will say the battery cables aren't very long. You know, they're maybe a foot long. But, you know, the longer they are, the more amperage they're going to pull, and it'll drain down the battery. So it could actually work against starting the vehicle. So that makes sense. Longer cables would be awesome. But these things will work. You can hook them up to the battery, you can hook them up to the alternator, and it'll work just fine. But not only does it start a vehicle, this thing does much more. You know, it has a flashlight on it, but what doesn't have a flashlight nowadays, right? But, you know, it's a flashlight, and it works as a regular flashlight, as a distress one, as a emergency flasher, you know, the typical things that all these types of items have. But nonetheless, it's still cool, because, you know, the flashlight would last quite a while. And it is LED, of course. But also, it has a USB output on it. And why is that so exciting? Well, it comes with a set of adapters that plug into the USB port that'll work with an iPhone, iPad, iPod, most of your smartphones, and tablets. So this will charge up quite a bit of different items. But even if the adapter here doesn't work, most of our smart devices nowadays have a USB adapter on the end of them that plugs into another adapter that plugs into the wall. So you can always just take your cable and plug it into here. Like, for example, my Asus tablet, there's not an adapter that comes with it. So I can just disconnect the wall 110 volt converter off of the plug of my tablet because it has a USB adapter on the end. Then I can just plug it right into here, the other end of my tablet, and bam, it's being charged. Or I can use the tablet while it's plugged in. So it's pretty cool. And most of our smart stuff today has that. It has a USB cable that plugs into 110 volt adapter, so it makes them pretty universal. But besides that, it has another form of output. It uses the round adapters, like on a laptop. You know, typically you have a round adapter that plugs into the laptop to charge it up or to run it off the 110 volts. And so this has that, and then it comes with 8 additional adapters, which is probably going to work with just about anything you might have. There might be something it doesn't work with, but, you know, nonetheless, most of us are using smartphones, iPhones, things like that. You know, the computers aren't as popular among RVers, and the whole landscape is changing as far as that goes. It's pretty slick. And also you can charge it up either in your vehicle through the, well, it's not called a cigarette lighter anymore. We can't use that term, but the 12 volt outlet, that's a little more politically correct here. I don't want to, you know, make anybody mad, but we can't use that term anymore. Cigarette lighter, that term. Or you can just plug it into a wall. Plug it into 110 volts and charge it right up. So this thing is available from Arizona RV. Now the other item we have, which is a smaller version of this, which is about half the physical size. So it makes it ideal, although this would be ideal for ATVs, but the other one's being smaller makes it more ideal. You know, you can literally put it in your back pocket. It's something that you can throw in your backpack, in your ATV, take it with you. You're out in the desert, battery goes dead for some reason, and batteries do just go dead. They die. You know, you turn off your car, you go out in the morning, and it won't start. Well, the same thing could happen with an ATV. You could turn it off, go for a hike, eat lunch, go back to it, it doesn't start. And some have pull starts, some don't. So you might be able to get it started, might not. And it's certainly not going to be the easiest vehicle to pull behind something else to get started, because you have to get it up to pretty high speed, and you don't have a clutch anymore for the most part, so you can't let out the clutch, right? So having something like this is nice peace of mind. You got it in your backpack, your battery goes dead or your buddy's does, and you just pull it out and start up your ATV and you're on your way. Makes it pretty simple, especially if you're out in the desert and there's only, maybe by yourself or just one other person with you. It really gives you that added security. I mean, obviously you're carrying other things with you, some tools, a tow rope, things like that. I mean, nobody's dumb enough to go out into the desert with extra tools, a spare, and fix a flat, tow rope, maybe a blanket, a solar blanket, extra water. No one would do that, right? Yeah, right. Well, if you forget everything else, at least bring this. At least you can get your battery started. Or when you run out of water, after you got a flat and you didn't bring a flat repair kit, at least you can charge up your cell phone to call for help. If there's cell reception. Can be a little sarcastic here. Sorry about that. But it's driving home the point. Bring other things with you. Go out to the desert prepared. It's stupid not to. A lot of people die that way. So just add it to your cool toolkit, whether it's in your ATV, your Jeep, your truck, your motorhome. These things will get you started. And also it works as an accessory to run all your other devices, or some of your other devices. I shouldn't say all. Lord knows what you have. Oxygen machines, everything else. So check it out. Give us a call or check it out online. It'll be on our website shortly. We do have them in stock in the store if you're here locally. So I want to thank you again for listening today. This is Radio Arizona RV. And if you have questions, you can call us at 800-789-5588.